Right now, in the permanently shadowed craters of the Lunar South Pole, ancient ice waits in the freezing dark, the cosmic currency that will either ignite the first interplanetary war or guarantee our survival. For over half a century, the footprints left by the Apollo astronauts have sat utterly undisturbed, trapped in a dead vacuum. We planted flags, we claimed a momentary triumph, and then we simply abandoned a world. Why did humanity conquer the heavens, only to turn our backs on the greatest frontier for 50 unbroken years? The silence of the lunar surface is deafening. After 1972, the magnificent thundering Saturn V rockets were grounded, relegated to museums while their intricate blueprints gathered dust. The great cosmic race, born from the existential dread of the Cold War, abruptly dissolved into the mundane. When the geopolitical terror subsided, the massive budgets evaporated with it. We traded the vast, terrifying abyss of deep space for the comfortable safety of low Earth orbit, shrinking our ultimate horizon to a mere 250 miles above our heads. It was a long era of profound retreat, neatly masked as consolidation. But the moon never stopped watching. It hung there, a gray, silent tomb illuminated by the harsh, unfiltered radiation of the sun. The grainy, static-filled television broadcasts of the 20th century faded into a strange, collective amnesia. Yet, beneath the political maneuvering and earthly distractions, the physics of the universe remained completely indifferent to human priorities. The desolate lunar plains, locked in a brutal vacuum with temperatures plunging to nearly 300 degrees below zero Fahrenheit, perfectly preserved our fragile legacy. We left behind descent stages, discarded tools, and fading flags, turning a celestial body into a quiet graveyard of mid-century ambition. Now, that static is finally clearing, replaced by the razor-sharp, high-definition reality of the 21st century space age. The slumbering giants of aerospace are waking up, driven not just by national pride, but by a terrifyingly real necessity. We are no longer looking at the moon through the fuzzy lenses of Apollo-era cameras. We are mapping its rugged topography with laser precision, scanning its darkest craters for the very building blocks of civilization. The 50-year gap was not a conclusion, but merely a breathless, agonizing pause. But as the heavy engines of this modern space race ignite, a new and dangerous reality takes shape. Who will actually control the infrastructure of the cosmos? The American answer to the relentless silence of the cosmos is Artemis, a vanguard forged by the combined might of government legacy and the raw, untamed engines of commercial titans. NASA envisions the Lunar Gateway, an orbital outpost drifting in the vast, unforgiving void like a solitary cosmic lighthouse, casting its watchful, mechanical gaze over the desolate Lunar South Pole. It is a staging ground suspended in a near rectilinear halo orbit, a chillingly complex dance of orbital mechanics that anchors humanity precisely at the terrifying edge of deep space, preparing us to plunge even further into the dark. Down on the jagged regolith, the Artemis base camp is designed to endure the punishing extremes of the lunar environment. It is engineered as a fragile, pressurized outpost of warmth and oxygen, trapped within a landscape that actively seeks to destroy it every single second. To achieve this, the sheer, staggering mass required to sustain fragile human biology in a total vacuum demands unprecedented brute force. Enter the colossal leviathans of the private sector, specifically the towering silver monolith of SpaceX's Starship. Standing nearly 400 feet tall and packing over 16 million pounds of explosive thrust, this super heavy lift vehicle is a masterpiece of violent engineering. It is designed to swallow the terrifying geometry of orbital transfer, defying the immense gravity well of Earth to hurl humanity's ambitions back to the dirt of another world. The architecture of Artemis is a gamble against the harsh reality of the cosmos and relying on massive lifters to continuously bridge the terrifying 238,000-mile abyss. Every launch will be a calculated defiance of gravity, a fiery spear thrown into the blackness to keep our fragile lunar foothold alive. Yet, as the Western vanguard aggressively builds its orbital fortresses and silver ships, a very different, equally formidable dragon is quietly laying claim to the dark side of the lunar horizon. Half a world away from the sun-drenched launch pads of Florida, a fierce and highly calculated Eastern vision is actively assembling the International Lunar Research Station. Led by the formidable strategic alliance of China and Russia, this is not merely a mirrored reflection of Artemis, but an entirely different, heavily automated philosophy of planetary conquest. They are deploying the Chang'e program, a relentless, methodical fleet of autonomous rovers that crawl across the desolate gray plains, silently mapping the hostile terrain with cold, robotic precision. While the West pours its energy into building towering, crewed ships, the East is engineering the very dust of the moon to permanently secure its unbreakable foothold. The grand design relies heavily on the radical, cutting-edge science of autonomous 3D printing. Giant robotic architectures will ingest the razor-sharp, highly toxic lunar regolith, melting and extruding the alien soil to construct massive, hardened habitats. This base is not built to simply survive the brutal 14-day lunar night, where the sun utterly vanishes and temperatures violently plummet. It is being engineered to actively conquer it. To defy this absolute freezing darkness, the Eastern Coalition relies on the unnatural glow of nuclear fission. Compact reactors will thrum silently in the dead vacuum, splitting the atom to pump life-saving warmth and electricity through the base. The silent chessboard of the cosmos is now aggressively populated with competing ideologies, each racing to secure the strategic high ground of our orbital neighborhood. But behind the soaring rockets, the robotic fleets, and the clash of superpowers, both titans are ultimately hunting for the exact same buried treasure, a hidden, primordial resource so incredibly valuable it could dictate the fate of the entire solar system. The ultimate destination of this modern gold rush is the Lunar South Pole, a jagged, terrifying landscape of permanently shadowed craters, untouched by a single ray of sunlight for billions of years. Down in those abyssal depths, trapped in a permanent deep freeze of nearly 400 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit, lies the ultimate prize of our century. It is not gold or rare earth metals igniting this massive scramble across the void, but something profoundly mundane, yet absolutely vital: frozen primordial water, delivered by ancient cometary impacts when the solar system was still violently taking shape. This ancient ice is the absolute currency of the cosmos. Through the violent, energy-intensive process of electrolysis, this frozen treasure is ripped apart into its foundational elements. It provides the pure, breathable oxygen necessary to keep fragile human lungs continuously inflating inside the artificial warmth of a dead world. But strategically, it yields super-chilled liquid hydrogen, the most potent and explosive rocket propellant known to human engineering. The moon is rapidly transforming into an interplanetary gas station. The brutal mathematics of orbital mechanics dictate that escaping Earth's massive gravity well consumes a staggering amount of energy. By harvesting fuel directly from the shallow, forgiving gravity of the lunar surface, the entire energetic equation of our solar system is permanently rewritten. We will no longer be forced to drag every drop of fuel from Earth. We will harvest the cosmos to conquer the cosmos. But as we prepare to mine these dark shadows to fuel our sprawling silver ships, a much deeper, an existential truth emerges about our ultimate destiny. We are not returning to the moon simply to plant another fading flag or to leave new footprints in the dust. The lunar surface is the ultimate proving ground for a species desperately attempting to outgrow its evolutionary cradle. Mastering survival on this irradiated, airless rock is the mandatory, agonizing rehearsal for the voyage to Mars and the deep ocean of the universe beyond. It is an existential stress test against the absolute worst conditions the cosmos can manufacture, forcing us to adapt or perish. Every pressurized habitat we aggressively construct and every drop of ancient water we extract is a critical, blood-earned lesson in becoming a true multiplanetary species. The Earth, for all its immense beauty and perfect atmospheric balance, is ultimately a fragile, single point of failure in a violently chaotic galaxy. Cosmic impacts, rogue asteroids, and our own destructive tendencies constantly threaten to abruptly erase the delicate, brief experiment of human consciousness. Expanding our permanent footprint across the void is no longer a luxury. It is an undeniable biological imperative to guarantee our survival. We are driven by a primal, unbreakable urge to push past the absolute limit of the horizon. From ancient migrations across unforgiving continents to the fire-breathing rockets violently piercing the atmosphere, the underlying evolutionary fire is completely identical. The moon is simply the first rocky stepping stone across a pitch-black cosmic ocean, a desolate place to learn how to exist before we dive headfirst into the uncharted deep. Yet, as we firmly plant our boots in the alien regolith and stare out into the infinite blackness, a profound mystery remains. Imagine walking out into the quiet of midnight and looking up at the familiar cratered face of the moon. In the coming decades, that pale sphere will no longer be a dead, silent monument of the past. Faintly piercing the absolute blackness near the southern terminator line, you will see a cluster of steady, artificial lights. A shimmering extraterrestrial city hanging in the vacuum. It will be the ultimate permanent testament to a species that violently refused to be confined to the fragile dirt of its birth. Those distant golden embers of human ingenuity will blend seamlessly with the ancient cold starlight of the Milky Way. Every time you gaze at that glowing lunar outpost, you will be looking at the first agonizing chapter of our galactic eternity. The moon is no longer a destination. It is our harbor on the shore of an infinite cosmic ocean, a hardened launch pad for the great, terrifying voyage into the deep. But as we strike the match and light our first fires in the endless dark, a haunting reality forces us to look even deeper. When our descendants finally cross the interstellar abyss, carrying the spark of human consciousness to alien suns, what will they find waiting in the silence? Are we truly the universe waking up to experience itself in utter solitude? Or is there something else hidden in the vast, cosmic architecture, quietly watching our lights turn on? Tell me what you believe in the comments below.